Okay, so tonight is all about how to make $4,000 profit each month from eBay and Amazon. The slides from tonight will be available for download for everybody for free, so you don't have to write everything down. I'll send you out, and also I'll send you a link out tomorrow where you can download the slides for free, so you don't have to write everything down. Alright, so our vision, our purpose of what these groups is all about. It's all about helping other people to also enjoy the benefits we have living in this day and age of working on the online world. So like it says there, to help more people replace their income with their own automated online businesses so they can also enjoy the freedom and lifestyle of the internet. So we are a non-profit group, so the money you guys paid to get in the door tonight goes to pay for this room. We do get people asking, hey, for my $10 I should be getting beer and pizza and whatever else. We did last time. So there was no beer and pizza, I'm sorry. It does go to pay for this room. There's no products at these events ever sold. So anyone's got a firm clasp on their checkbook and their credit card, there is no events to be allowed by any of the presenters at these events. It's all content only. So who am I? For those people who don't know my story, but basically I've been doing this selling online since 1996, over 20 years now. And I got into this originally full time because I didn't want to get a job. It's purely that reason. It's because I was a divorced single father and I wanted to put some food on the table, pay the bills without getting a job. And that's what inspired me and pushed me into it. And I love it. I'm really passionate about eBay and Amazon. We only sell on eBay, Amazon and our own websites. That's all we do. And we just do importing and drop shipping only. Now tonight I'm going through a load of different methodologies, including used items. We don't do used items. We have in the past, but I'm just more passionate about importing and drop shipping. But everyone's different, as I'll go through tonight. So that's basically my story. Okay, so tonight is interactive. We try to keep these things always interactive, so you guys, if you've got any questions at all, please ask. If we start going over time, I'll let you know, we'll have to cull the questions, but while we're in time, if you have any questions, please ask. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to go through some industry terminology. So for the people who have been here before and it's full-time sellers, apologies, because you guys will know all this stuff, but we have a lot of new faces in the room, so it's important they know what we're talking about, hopefully. So I've been doing this since 1996, so I'm very guilty of using words that other people don't know. So I'll try and get some of these words on the table right now. If there's any other words I use tonight, please ask. So just before we get hooked into it, a quick update. eBay revenue, as you can see here, the last data I've got is Q1 19. As you can see, eBay revenue continually there. There's plenty of meat in the pie for us all. Same with Amazon. Plenty there of sales. Now, the question that often comes up a lot is, what's bigger, eBay, Amazon, selling on your own website? And I'll cover a bit of that tonight. So tonight I'm going to go through multiple strategies. I'm a huge fan of multiple strategies. I hate having all my eggs in one basket. So even when you're starting off, if you're just selling on eBay, you're just selling on Amazon or your own website, I'm a huge fan of having many products. Because then if you lose one, who cares? But if you've got all your eggs in one basket, it can really hurt you. Like I did this presentation last night in Adelaide, and there's a lady there, her and her daughter, they spent the last over 2 years with one product. They spent over 20 grand on this product, over 2 years of intense work getting this product. Now, that's a lot invested in that. And if that thing goes belly up or they get a big competitor, it's 2 years down the drain. I'm not a fan of that. I know some people are. Maybe you guys, someone here has got a product they're really passionate about. Look, that's awesome. I just suggest if you don't, then diversification is always my biggest thing. Now, it's all about one item. This comes up a lot. A lot of people don't realise how close to success they are, depending on what their degree of success is. Maybe your degree of success is to replace the wage that comes in from one of your partner or from yourself. And it all comes down to one item. And what I mean by that, if you have in place a methodology to research and find one item and sell it, and you can repeat that strategy, you've cracked it. One item. So I'll just say that again, a methodology to research and find one item and sell it. If you can repeat that strategy, you've got it cracked. All you've got to do is double down or repeat, and optimise. So I'm going to share multiple strategies tonight. It's a matter of learning one and then just double down. A lot of people they'll sell one item and then they'll get like 2, 5. And what I say to people, I've coached many people over the years, and once they've got like 5 sold, I normally say to them, grab your partner, go to a restaurant, get a bottle of wine and celebrate. Because many people only dream about this being able to get to like 5. Because if you sold one item, it could be a fluke. 2 items doing the same methodology, chances of it being a fluke has dropped a whole lot less. We get into this thing called statistical significance. Once you've got 5, there's a greater than 92% chance it was not a fluke if you're using the same methodology. We'll get more to that tonight. Okay, so you learn this strategy, then you outsource it. You use 10% of your profits. You pay VAs, virtual assistants, $1 to $2 an hour to repeat the process. If you can record your screen, you can outsource it for $1 to $2 an hour. So we use low-cost virtual overseas staff. I'm going to show you tonight how to get those staff from $1 to $2 an hour. When I first started off, I used to fly to Cebu all the time in the Philippines. We used to pay $895 US per person. These days, we pay $1 to $2. So the virtual assistants, they run and they grow your business. Not just run it, but they grow it. We call it the 1-100 ratios. You want to get to the stage where if you work 1 hour, your staff work 100 hours. It's called leverage. And this is a lot of the stuff I'm going to go through tonight, a lot of it's just all the mental game. So many people get to the stage, they won't outsource. Why? Mental game. Because they don't believe that someone can do the job just as good as they can. Sorry to say it, but they often can. Sometimes better. If you work 100 hours, yeah, your VAs work 100. So obviously, what's your 12-month goal? You know, what drives you? What you're passionate about? Do you want to give up your job? Do you want to bring extra money in? Do you want to get your partner out of work? Or whatever it is. But you've got to set that, and that's your 12-month goal. So it comes down to which strategy. Apologies for this tiny writing, but I think this is the worst slide of it. Used items, new items, importing, drop shipping, selling on eBay, selling on Amazon, selling on your own website, Shopify or independent website, which we're going to get into tonight, private labeling, flipping, where you buy stuff and flip it immediately and sell it, trade up, selling niches, selling listings. There's a lot of money in this, and I'm going to get to that tonight as well. And what is the most profitable methodology? And it's not always about the most profitable methodology, it's about what you're passionate about as well. Because if you don't like doing what you do, it's a big drain. You've got to be in that river, doing what you feel like doing. So same deal. So we've talked a lot about this before. Anyone who's seen me speak before, they know I always harp about the exit strategy, and it's because it's such a major thing. And the exit strategy is if you want to sell your business, you build it so it runs without you. But the other big advantage of building a business like that is it runs without you. Whether you sell it or not, you build a business which runs without you so you can have a life and do things that you're passionate about in life. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I love working." Yeah, really? You'd really rather do... You'd really do prefer to list something on eBay or Amazon than take your kids to Europe? Really? I'm sceptical. Anyway, so you build a business which works without you, and it grows without you, and you do it through VAs and software. Yeah, sure.
What does the VA actually do?
A VA, you can do basically, if you can record your screen on any task, they can do that. So they can be doing product research, or they could be listing products. They could be processing orders. They could be doing customer service.
So it's a real person somewhere else, or it's like
yes.
talking about computer?
No, it's a person. Okay, so today there is less barriers to entry than there ever was before. Because a lot of people say, "Is this a good time to get into it?" It's never been a better time, and here's why. You no longer need any capital. When we started, we had to buy our inventory up front before it got sold. You don't have to do that anymore. And that was a huge hurdle. You don't need to have inventory on hand anymore. So when we started off, we used to, of course, fill our house up, filled our garage up, we filled up our spare rooms. I even did things like bought an old furniture truck, a 40 cubic metre old furniture removal truck, just under 1 million kilometres, parked in our back driveway. We did everything to try and get more room. These days, we run the whole shebang we live on a farm these days in the New South Wales mid-north coast, and we have no inventory on hand, and we have no staff on hand. Everything is done virtual. I'm going to talk about how to do that tonight. So you no longer need a warehouse. Trips to China no longer required. When we first started off, I used to go to China so much that I used to fill up the passports before they expired. because we used to do so much travelling. These days you don't have to do any. Location no longer matters. 95% of items are duty-free from China since December 05, 15. You can get logos now done for $5. You can get listing templates done for less than $100. Our original listing templates on our website cost over 10 grand when we started, over 10 grand, and that was, now you can get them done for less than $100. Get outsource staff from $1. Like I said, we were paying $895 US per staff member. Plus I had to fly to the Philippines to train them. Now I don't have to do that anymore. Don't need skilled staff anymore, and you don't need to guess anymore. So we did a lot of guessing in our early days. These days we do zero guessing, because we learned a long time ago with our staff, if they can guess, there's a greater than 50% chance they'll screw it up. So there's zero guessing. Everything's just done off numbers now. No need to purchase any public domain lists anymore, because the big problem with purchasing public domain lists of suppliers and products, every man and his dog buys the same lists, and they find the same products, they find the same suppliers, and everybody lists the same stuff and fights out for margins, i.e. USB cables, iPhone cases, iPad cases, all that kind of stuff. No social media. I saw this, I thought this was pretty cool, because a lot of people hassle me because I'm not on Facebook very much. And the reason I'm not on Facebook is because there's other things I much prefer to do in my life than sit there with Facebook. But each their own. And so I'm not saying any strategy is wrong, I'm just saying, you know, we do what we do, and that's, you know, everyone's got their own ideas. Okay, so there's no need to guess anything. Like I said, we have data today. So some terminology, just so everybody knows what I'm talking about, hopefully. Amazon FBA, of course, short for Amazon, or Fulfillment by Amazon. In other words, if you sell these, you send them to Amazon, to an Amazon warehouse, and they're in one of these boxes, and when they sell, Amazon picks it, packs it, and sends it to your customer. There's 2 Amazon warehouses currently now in Australia, one in Dandenong, another one in Moorebank in Sydney. There's over 400 Amazon FBA warehouses around the planet. So any questions so far? All quiet so far?
Quick question.
Yep.
For a target market, do we choose which country to send the product to, or if we send it to, for example, the one here, can they ship it around the world?
Yeah, Amazon can ship it around the world, yes. And if you use the 3PL, which I'm going to get to tonight, they can ship it around the world too. So it has, yeah. So Amazon FBA, they warehouse your inventory, they ship your inventory for you, they fulfill Amazon orders, they fulfill your website orders. So if you sell something on your website, you can have Amazon ship it for you to your customers, even though not eBay, because eBay in April last year said not to use Amazon as a supplier, because obviously eBay doesn't want things rocking up in Amazon boxes. The shareholders of eBay don't like that. They'll manage customer service and returns for Amazon orders. Now, you can also do the same thing with eBay and your own website. So Amazon FBA has been getting a lot of media lately, but we've been doing the same thing with Amazon, our website, for years. And basically what you do is you've got products, you just send them to a 3PL, which is called a third-party logistics company. There's many of these around. Here's some of the ones in Australia, and another one we use in the US for our US operations, Web Logistics. They're in Buffalo, New York. You do the same thing, you just send it to them, and they warehouse it, and when it sells, you can just get them to send it, and you do it fully automated. So we have automated software. As soon as an item sells, it automatically feeds to like Web Logistics, it feeds into their computer, and it sends what's called a CSV document, and they pick it, pack it, and ship it. All fully automated, just like Amazon FBA. Charges, with all of these you've got to negotiate. But to give you like just a rough figure, a pallet, which is 1.5 metres wide by 1.5 high, roughly $2.50 a week to hold it, to warehouse it. Then there's a picking fee, packing fee, and of course a shipping fee. But when you look at all the other fees, so you might think, oh, that's a bit of money, but if you've got your own warehouse, you're paying, your lease for your warehouse, or if you own it, whatever. You've also got all your staff, you've got security, you've got, with staff, workers' compensation, superannuation, it just goes on, your phone service, it's just, the bills go on and on. So if I work for one of these guys and I was trying to get your business, I'll be saying, well, I'll save you all that money because you don't have to have any staff or a warehouse. Plus, we have really good rates with the courier companies, probably better than what you've got, because they've got accounts with like DHL, Australia Post, all those companies, and they get really good rates because they're sending so much stuff. So it offsets it. So you've got to do all the maths to look at it, but again, it's very, very reasonable.
And is there a minimum requirement, like you have to have one pallet, two pallets? or you
Not
have
not
one
normally.
pallet and there?
No, you just got to negotiate with them all. Like for instance, Apple uses ShipWire to ship iPhones. So these are the top ones which are used the most, and I highly recommend you use one in New South Wales, because New South Wales, as in Sydney, as in Western Sydney, is kind of the hub, the centre. So you've got Brisbane above, of course you've got the Sydney population, plus Melbourne below. If you use someone in Western Sydney, the rents are much lower than obviously someone near the coast. And like Coghlan and Next Logistics, they come up a lot, very popular. Okay, private labelling is simply this. You slap your label on a product. I'm going to talk more about private labelling tonight, but that's basically what it is. You take a product and you stick your own private label onto it. Many companies do it, like Bunnings have got a Zito range, and its private labelling's a big thing. And I'm going to show you a way to do it without spending a fortune. Also, one that comes up a lot is, what do you sell? When you start researching, what do you research? What products? And there's a list here you can download for free of 1,000 keywords, what we call power keywords. So if you're stuck for product ideas, I'll refer back to this later, but there's a link there, you can download 1,000 keywords for free. Okay, so Shopify is another thing that gets talked about a lot. What is Shopify? Shopify is many things, but the first thing gets used a lot for your own website. So if you want to have your own website, you can sign up for Shopify, cost you less than $30 a month. You choose a store, a theme, and bingo, you can start listing your products and have them on your own website. You can also feed to many other places, including Facebook, eBay, Amazon, etc. So you can have all your products and feed to there. Now, Shopify is not the only thing that you can do this with. You can do it with many other programs, like we use Magento. There's also, you can use WooCommerce. There's a whole stack of them. So Shopify is not the only one that can do this. Neato. So with all of these, you can sell on your own independent website, Facebook, eBay, Amazon, Instagram, and there's other things like comparison shopping engines like Get Price, shopping.com, etc. It'll feed to all these ones. Now, another thing that comes up a lot is Alibaba and AliExpress. If you want to, I'm going to talk more about this tonight, but just to get it off the table, is Alibaba is a place you can source products from. So when you find a product, if you want to find these, you just go to Alibaba, type it in, hit search, bingo, you'll find a supplier somewhere on the planet that manufactures these, or you'll probably find 10 or 100 of them. AliExpress is owned by Alibaba, which is owned by a guy called Jack Ma, and that's the retail arm. So you can, if you want to buy one of these, you go to AliExpress because it's retail. You pay more money. If you want to buy 30 of these, 50 or 100, 1,000 of these, you go to Alibaba. I'll talk more about that tonight. So the question always comes up, I get this all the time, even now this afternoon, should you sell on eBay, Amazon, or your own independent website?